Regardless of if you're a new player or a seasoned veteran, we all know the importance of being able to control recoil. But it's so hard to create guns that have good recoil patterns without breaking the bank. Hello everyone, this is cztl, and today we're going to be going over some gun builds at or under 100,000 rubles that have great recoil characteristics. If you don't know the inner workings of how recoil works, I encourage you to check out my most recent video. I've taken all the traits from that video and created a model that helps compare recoil characteristics across guns. This has pointed out some surprisingly underrated guns that you could build on a budget with traders under level 4. The first gun that we're going to be going over is the PP-9 Klin that you can purchase at level 1 from Prapor. You may think that this is just a rat-like meta gun, but it performs well with the average loadout. This gun is so underrated, it's even an outlier in my model. First off, this gun has the lowest recoil dispersion out of any gun in the game, at 5. Second, it has a very high convergence stat to counteract the high RPM. And last, any build that you make with this is going to be dirt cheap. I don't think that you could spend 100,000 rubles on this if you tried. You can use this gun with no modifications for 23,000 rubles, or add a reflex sight and flashlight to it for roughly 64,000 rubles, which is the build that I like to use. The only downside to this gun is the ammo, so you'll likely need to go for legs or their head. Next up is the PP-9 which you have access to barter at level 1 Prapor or to buy at level 2 Prapor. This gun is incredibly cheap, allowing you to easily minimize the recoil. Just add a new handguard with a grip, a suppressor, an optic, and any other utility that you want, all for under 100k. The butt pad requires you to have completed Gunsmith Part 6, so I recommend doing that if you haven't. In terms of recoil, this also has a very low dispersion, and while the convergence isn't that low, it seems to match the fire rate pretty well due to the low recoil of the gun. This gun also gives you flexibility in how you use it because of the 9mm ammo type. You could use the higher pen rounds such as PvP or AP 6.3, or the numerous leg matter rounds. The best part about these first two guns is you're almost always going to get them back in insurance, although the attachments may be stripped off. Next up is the 45 Vector, which you can sometimes find on the flea market for under 60,000 rubles. The best part about this gun is it works almost straight out of the box. Attachments don't actually do that much because 1 or 2% of 30 doesn't change it that much. So just slap a red dot, any handguard, and the flash hider and you're good to go. This build is just 96,000 rubles. In terms of recoil profile, it does have a high dispersion, but because of the low vertical recoil and very high convergence, that shouldn't matter that much, even with 1100 RPM. However, it will veer to the right slightly, and the camera recoil is sort of obnoxious for this caliber. Moving off of SMGs and onto assault rifles, the G36 is the next gun that you can find for roughly 40,000 rubles. This gives you some flexibility. You can go suppressed at around 95,000 rubles or loud for around 84,000 rubles, with 9 more recoil and 21 more ergo. This assumes that you sell the excess parts back to the traders. I chose to go with the suppressed version and tend to hip fire. The interesting thing about the G36 recoil is it doesn't have great convergence and it has a high RPM, but it has the lowest assault rifle dispersion stat, meaning the recoil will just go up. If you can control it, it's a great gun. Next up is the MCX, and this one's primarily due to ammo availability, specifically M62. Available from Peacekeeper 3, this has 36 pen and 54 damage, which is great against Class 4 armor and can go up against Class 5 decently. You can find this gun for around 60 to 70k in the flea, or use the barter, which sometimes can go for around 60k. 1 G-Phone X and 1 Summit 1 G-Phone. You'll need to spend a bit over 100k for this one, but it's around 100k without a red dot. The total recoil for this build is 56. While most of the other recoil stats are average, it does have a high convergence of around 2. With 800 RPM, it does have some kick, so you'll need to control it a bit. Now, onto the last underrated gun. It's the AK-74UB, if you can believe it. But the UN is also pretty good. If you can snag this for below 50k, definitely do it. I've been able to buy these for 40k with the suppressor that I sell back. The key parts of this build are the XRSU handguard, the RDD muzzle brake, and the butt pad. Beyond those, add whatever you want in your stash to this gun. Before we get to recoil, the great part about this gun is the ammo availability, both from traders and in raid. It's very easy to find 545x39 ammo. In terms of recoil, this build has 49 recoil. Where it shines is in the hidden stats. The UB has better convergence than the average gun, has great convergence so it returns to center more quickly, and a low recoil. Not to mention, it will shoot ammo that's easy to find and penetrates tier 5 and tier 6 armor. This may be the most underrated gun this patch. Now a little bonus for all you who've stayed to the end. 2 honorable mentions that I did not include are the AK-101 and the MP7. And that is because those are not underrated guns. They may be the best 2 guns this wipe, either due to recoil or ammo availability. But you can get some great builds for under 100k with those. If you're wondering about the recoil model I made, I'll link the spreadsheet with the numbers in the description, along with the link to my video about how recoil works. I'd like some feedback on the formulas, but I think it's pretty accurate. While you're in the description, come join my Discord and maybe we can play together. Now, smash the like out of that shit button, subscribe for more content like this, and peace out.